the country. Welcome to the war. It's great to have you with us for another week.
And, Craig, we've got our first bit of mail this week. We got a letter from a Mrs Beryl Stanton who writes, "Why, oh why is my money being wasted on this pure old chaser nonsense? Why can't the ABC put a proper comedy on like Mother and Son instead?"
Well, thank you, Beryl. You've got a good point there. I couldn't agree more, to be honest.
Absolutely. So, just for Beryl, from now on, we've agreed to run old episodes of Mother and Son during our show. There it is. Can we see it there?
That's a bit big. Can we make that a bit smaller, please?
There we are.
That's good.
Can you see that okay, Beryl? And next week we'll have something nice with Dame Judi Dench in it for you, okay? So everybody's happy.
Look, it's quite good. It's been a big week, of course, a dramatic week in Queensland. Our hearts go out to all the people affected by Cyclone Laria. Queensland hasn't suffered this much damage since the days of Sir Joe.
And the international response has been quite remarkable. Britain, New Zealand all offering aid, even America, which is odd because normally it takes George Bush 2 weeks to respond to a hurricane.
They think around, of course, 3,000 homes were completely smashed to the ground, but even more tragically than that, Pauline Hanson was left standing.
Also this week, childcare was back in the news. Do you see this? A group of government backbenchers want changes to the childcare system in the May budget to make it less expensive for parents.
Yeah, well, look, tell me about it. I mean, as a parent myself, I can tell you childcare is not cheap.
Well, it gets up to about, what is it, $110 a day?
Well, that's what the losers pay. If you think outside the square a bit, there are some cheaper childcare options out there. You just need to know where to look. Like your kind of local Ferris wheel, for instance.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
At the fun fair? How much is that?
All day pass for him. $29. They can ride all day.
Fantastic. He's got harbour views. He's never had it so good.
Loves it, loves it. Still quite expensive, though, for mine, I think. And then you try your public transport options quite good, too.
Oh, yeah? How much for a whole day on the bus?
Hello.
How much for him to ride all day? $7.50 for him to ride all day? All right. That's pretty good.
He's loving it there. Lost property is another way. Just have to claim it's not yours.
Oh, yeah? Just check it in as lost?
I just found this child. Can I leave him with you? Yeah. What time do you close?
4:30.
4:30.
Bloody bargain.
Yeah, it's not bad, it's not bad. You can go lower, though. You just use your cloakroom. That's a good option.
How much is the 2 cloaks something here for the day?
Oh, $4.
Excellent.
Can I have one, thanks?
There you go.
Brilliant solutions.
Only $4 for a whole day of childcare. I don't know what these other parents are complaining about.
I've never seen Ollie look so happy. Yeah.
No, he's looking good.
Who's looking after him tonight?
What do you mean?
Ollie, your son, where is he?
Oh, shit!
Wankster ringtones now for the Crazy Frog's hot new smash hit, Crazy Nessun Dorma. Get it in True Tone. Polyphonic. Or gramophonic. Or text 875 for the very latest ringtone releases. Something annoying. Something way too loud for public transport. And a novelty ringtone you'll never actually use. Join Club Wankster now and receive a mountain of mobile phone spam absolutely free. Wankster ringtones, get phony.
That's right, shoppers, come on into South Sydney Rabbitohs. We're under new management and we're having a massive Russell Crowe takeover clearance sale. He's throwing out everything. He's throwing punches, he's throwing stubbies of VB, he's even throwing telephones. Even the script to Eucalyptus is being hurled out the door. We won't be beaten on price, but we will be beaten on the football field every weekend. That's right. South Sydney, heading south down the competition ladder. The only thing we don't have is a team that can actually play football. That's right, ladies. Come on in. Come on into South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Excuse me, who are you?
I'm the spruiker. I'm just spruiking away.
Hey, mate.
Take St George cap.
Your hands are top high, you can do this, Billy.
South Sydney.
Oh,
Come on in and grab a bargain. That's right. All I was doing was helping.
Fucking idiot.
Well done there, mate. Well done. Very fantastic, fantastic
Totally
stuff.
helping them out.
Absolutely. Now, mate, do you know how to get ahead in Australia?
Is it by being the first person to divorce Jamie Packer?
Yes, that's one way, but it wasn't the way that I was thinking of. No, the way I was thinking of is by getting your portrait hung at that fancy restaurant Machiavelli's.
Oh, the rich man's Macca's.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. You know, and they used to have all these pictures of politicians, like they'd have Richo and Paul Keating, Laurie Burton, that sort of thing. But recently, they got rid of all the politicians' pictures. Did you see that?
Well, if it makes this introduction easier, I'll say I did.
Thanks, mate. It would actually.
Well, I did.
Thank you. Well, look, they've replaced the photos with people like Jamie Packer, Frank Lowy, that sort of thing. So I thought, since they're getting into business people, maybe there are a few other suggestions that I could make of some high flyers that they might have forgotten. How you going? We've got some new portraits for you. What do you think? This is Trevor Flugie. He's from the AWB, and we thought he might fit on the wall here. What do you reckon?
It's black and white, we can't do it.
Well, the case against Trevor's pretty black and white. It's about as Machiavellian as you can get.
Yeah, you're
What do you
right.
think? Yeah? Yeah? Would you take Trevor?
Not this week.
What about this guy?
Oh, yeah, he's got to
Would you
go.
take him?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah?
to go in the right spot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, probably offshore's the right
Yeah,
spot
I
for
think
him.
exactly right, offshore.
Yeah. I know you've moved away from politicians,
Yeah.
but he's probably representing Macquarie Bank more these days than the Labor Party or New South Wales. Would you take Mr. Carr?
Possibly, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Sure. He'd probably want it to be on a pay-per-view basis though, so you know everyone who looks up, they'd have to pay a little bit of an extra fee. But
Bit
you know,
more than the tile or the
absolutely,
same?
yeah. Now, what about this one? Rodney Adler. We thought this might be good for when you meet with your lawyer or your accountant. Would you take Rodney?
He's in the bank.
He's in the back, is he?
Yeah.
We know you're updating, so there's update for Renee. No.
No.
Yeah, you're
I don't
okay.
like that one. No.
It's quite possibly the filthiest joke in the world.
It's become this sort of secret handshake in comedy circles, passed on from comedian to comedian.
No one's going to tell that on stage.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? This isn't the kind of joke that you would ever tell in public.
You could get arrested for telling this joke, which is why when somebody finally did...
We couldn't believe it when he did it.
Someone actually told it.
Yeah, Alexander Downer told the joke.
When we release our domestic violence policy, the things that batter.
And I was like, oh my God.
I could hardly breathe.
I was in the room when he did it. I almost died.
That was amazing. He didn't just tell the joke. He told the most out there version.
Yeah, he definitely pushed the envelope a long way that night. Brave.
The Adelaide Aristocrats, starring the world's most famous joke, Alexander Downer.
Mr. Downer, I salute you.
Very funny man, that Downer. Yes?
Sorry, mate. I was just watching Mother and Son. It's pretty good, isn't it?
Oh, it's not a bad episode, this
Yeah,
one. In
it's
fact, we've even had people ring in asking if we can bring it up full size.
Can we? Fitz,
Can we do that, Fitz? Can we switch the two around?
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's much better.
This will really help our ratings, I
Oh, the
reckon.
Trial and Retribution audience will be loving this at the moment.
Absolutely. In fact, speaking of comedy, sorry, can we just go back to normal? Thank you. Speaking of comedy, I had to fly interstate last weekend on Virgin Blue. And you know how on Virgin they're always a bit wacky and humorous.
They're zany.
They're out there. They like to crack jokes and stuff. And I started to ask myself, is their material actually that funny? So, to find out, I decided to write down Virgin Blue's in-flight safety announcement and perform it verbatim at an open mic comedy night to see how it went down in front of an actual live comedy audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Chris Taylor! Thanks so much. How you doing? You having a good night? Yeah. Thanks very much for flying Virgin Blue today. In the flight deck we have Captain Robert Nunn and the First Officer John Stanley. Your cabin crew for the day are Mandy, Sandy, Candy and I'm Randy, if that wasn't obvious already. We're here to make your experience as comfortable and enjoyable here on the flight this afternoon. However, there is also a serious side to the flight, and if I can just have a couple of moments of your attention while I run through some of the safety features of the aircraft. Airbags will fall from overhead in the event of emergency. Please stop screaming before attaching your mask. A reminder also that smoking is prohibited right throughout the aircraft. If you are caught smoking, we will ask you to step outside. Finally, underneath your seats you might find life jackets. They do come with a light and a whistle for attracting sharks, or if you like, a light and a whistle for attracting members of the opposite sex.
My God! I didn't even like the light and whistle gag. That stuff's gold.
I've never felt more uncomfortable in my life. I was dying out there, so I had to rescue the situation. I needed some proven material. So I decided to perform David Letterman's opening monologue from the previous night.
Well, as far as Tonight Show hosts go, he's right up there.
He's great, and he did a dynamite monologue about the Super Bowl. It was top-notch material.
You're looking at a guy, I'm laughing on the outside, I'm dying on the inside, I am furious. Ladies and gentlemen, I am furious. If Seattle had made those 2 field goals, missed the extra point, and then scored a safety, I would have won the office pool.
See, that's a big laugh. That's a huge laugh.
You got to clap. It couldn't possibly fail, I thought. So let's see how I went doing the same monologue. Looking at a man, I'm laughing on the outside, I'm dying on the inside, I'm furious. I'm absolutely furious. If Seattle had made those 2 field goals, missed that extra point and then scored that safety, I would have won the office pool.
Tough crowd, Chris. Tough crowd. I think you need the CBS Orchestra, mate.
Well, luckily, Chaz, in terms of comedy insurance, I could go even better than the CBS Orchestra because I had Kochie's joke book.
Oh, look out.
A collection of Kochie's best jokes from the Sunrise program. Now, I know it was a long shot, but when you were dying as badly as I was, you're prepared to scrape the barrel and try anything.
Kochie.
Including Kochie's jokes. There's these 2 Mexican police officers investigating a murder, right? And there's a dead body there in front of them. And Carlos says to his partner, he says, well, what do you think happened here? And the partner says, I don't know, I think he might have been shot by a golf gun. And Carlos says, a golf gun? What the hell's a golf gun? I've never heard of such a thing. And the partner says, well, it certainly made a hole-in-one. Hole-in-one, hole-in-one, Mexico.
That kind of worked, Chris.
That Virgin failed, Letterman failed, but Kochie absolutely blitzed it. So, all hail the new king of comedy, David Koch.
Woo! Yep. OK, enough clapping. It's Kochie we're talking about here. Now, it's time on the show for another famous face-off. This is where we put 2 famous rivals head-to-head in a ruthless do-or-die showdown.
And this week it's down to Canberra for the Battle of the Senators.
We're here at Parliament to find out who's the best blocker. Who can block the most legislation getting into the Senate? Steve Fielding from Family First or Barnaby Joyce from the National Party? Let's go, guys. Let's go! Just block tax cuts.
Oh, bullshit, really?
Yeah, there goes the populist angle, hey, Barnaby.
That's the end of that. Peter will not like me.
He's blocked VSU. About bloody time. Now you get it right. Wow, look, they're coming that fast. What about, hang on a second. Hang on. We'll redo VSU with a secret backroom deal. Oh, now it's through. Oh, what has he blocked? The sale of Telstra. Hang on.
We haven't sold Telstra. We still own 51.8% of Telstra.
Let's try it again. If I give you 3 billion...
3.1 billion.
Yeah. It's quite an important one. ABC funding increase, yes. Yeah. Stop raising politicians' pay.
Oh, no!
Oh, gay marriage, Steve.
Gee, how did I let that through?
Oh, I tell you what.
That's not right.
Where's the family impact statement on that one?
Doing that one again, I reckon.
What do you want me to do way back here, you reckon? If I get this in, we have to get married. You get it through first. Oh, it must have been proposed by the Greens. It didn't even get into Parliament.
We're rolling from the shock. The biggest rock tour in the world. Cancelled. But one member of U2 is not giving up. Get ready for the first ever solo tour of Adam Clayton. Playing the bass lines of U2's greatest hits. Pride. Where the streets have no name. Vertigo. And One. No vocals, no charisma, just the root notes of chords. Book now for Clayton's concert. It's the concert you have when you're not having a concert.
Taking a look at the rest of the week's news, and the clean-up continues after Cyclone Larry, and what a story it's been for our nation's weathermen.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's been the biggest weather story of the year. You can forget your wacky crosses, because this was a chance for the weathermen to really sink their teeth into something to show us what they're made of, really.
Now, Grant Denyer from Sunrise, he did pretty well. He was on location in Townsville to cover the cyclone, which was happening only 300 kilometres away. But at least he lost his umbrella in it. Look at that. There you go.
Good effort.
That was nothing, though, compared to the effort put in by the Today Show weatherman Steve Jacobs. Look at this.
Well, it's not so lovely in far north Queensland with that cyclone bearing down on the coast. Steve, have you got the latest for us?
I do indeed. Good morning to you. It is a serious Category 4 cyclone casting, about 60 kilometres at the moment.
He really goes the extra yard, Steve, doesn't he? Yeah.
1 yard,
Just the
exactly.
one, yeah.
Very quiet on the couch. Must have been the eye of the storm, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. Still at home, and Craig, you'll recall last week on the show, Kim Beazley threatened me with violence.
I think I've got what it takes to kneecap the people from Chaser.
Well, Kim, I am still waiting. I hate politicians who break promises. I mean, if a Polly's going to threaten violence, I expect him to go through with it, even if it's totally unjustified.
That's what I always respected about George Bush.
Absolutely, yeah. So this week, I decided to give Kim Beazley one more chance to make good on his threat. Kim, last time you said you wanted to kneecap me, I'll give you the chance to do it, eh? Here you go. Come on, have a free swing. This could be the first blow you've landed on anything for ages. Come on, Kim. It made Mark Latham more popular.
Not a big enough target. He's too small a target for him.
Absolutely useless. Still on politics, and Alexander Downer's under more pressure after the AWB inquiry released a memo signed by him expressing concerns over possible AWB kickbacks.
Now, even if you're not following the AWB scandal, this memo is great because it features Downer's signature, which you can now download from our website.
That's right. If you, say, want the day off school, let the Foreign Minister sign your note.
Exactly. Anti-war petition, won't it carry more weight with Downer's support?
Absolutely. And don't worry about getting in trouble because, as with the AWB, Mr Downer won't admit any wrongdoing, so you'll be fine.
Well, to sport now, and there were more problems for Wayne Carey this week after his wife came home and cleared out the secret stash of lovers he kept in his condo.
And finally, drugs in the music industry have always gone hand in hand, but how far does it go? Does heroin abuse go all the way to Australia's richest band, the Wiggles?
Well, that would explain why Jeff's always asleep. I mean, heroin junkie's on the nod. And look, all the signs are right there in their latest clip.
Where's Jeff?
Is he sleeping outside?
Where's Jeff? Dirty feet at his side. Where's Jeff? Get the fuck out of here! Looky, 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 looky. Where's Jeff?
Is he passed out cold?
Where's Jeff? Is he pawning his gold? Where's Jeff? Is he selling his soul? Looky, 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 looky. Looky, looky here. Looky, looky there. Looky, 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 looky everywhere. Smacky, smacky here. Smacky, smacky there. Smacky, 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 smacky. Where's Jeff? Get out here!
This week on Catalyst, as the mystery of beached whales continues to baffle scientists, researchers have now turned their minds to an even greater puzzle. Why do bluebottle stingers also beach themselves? And are the efforts of volunteers to save them in vain?
They're such beautiful and impressive animals, you know. It just breaks my heart to see them die on the beach like this.
That's The Thin Blue Line. This week on Catalyst.
I need some more water. I think I'm lazy. Oh! Fuck me! Fucking they stung me!
One of the main reasons I moved to America is because the breakfast cereal is made from chocolate fudge, and the most popular fruit juice is cherry Coke. But according to a recent obesity survey, Australia is catching up to America.
Quite frankly, I didn't move to the USA to be number 2. So I've decided to hit the streets to help America keep its position as the fattest country on earth.
How many burgers did you have today?
1.
See, that's just not good enough.
I don't want to be number 1 in that way. I want to be number 1, the skinny country, that's it.
You're a communist. You're not a true American. No, you're not. You can do a lot better, quite frankly.
Yeah.
What are you eating here today?
Chili and fish.
What if we added some whipped cream?
Nah.
A little bit of this. Come on. Here, hold out your hand.
You got the razor with you?
Is the problem that there's not enough cream in?
No, no more cream, no.
One bite. Do your country proud. Just one bite.
One bite. We trace it, right?
What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to stop you there. You're jogging, you're getting fit. This is terribly un-American activity. I'm going to have to give you a ticket. It's a recipe for deep-fried onion rings. There's 2 for 1 at McDonald's. I want you to go there immediately. Get 2 hamburgers.
4 of them?
OK, 4 hamburgers.
Eat them all in one sitting?
Yes.
That's...
OK, and I don't want to see you out here jogging again.
Now, just before we get into it, a quick update. You might recall a couple of weeks ago we awarded this man a prize for Best Costume in a Current Affairs Story.
Meet Jack Gray. He not only looks like one, but he is a bloody idiot.
Well, it turns out he loved that plastic bag so much that 2 weeks later on The Current Affair, he was at it again, still wearing it.
Yes, well, here he is. He's just finished driving with the plastic bag on and apparently even wears it at home on his veranda.
He's a real style guru, that guy, and it's catching on in the fashion world too.
I saw that.
Yeah, for instance, this is a fashion show in Milan this week.
On to this week's lesson now. Graphics. Now, graphics are great for illustrating scientific concepts. For instance, look how easy it is to follow a current affairs explanation of the workings of the human brain.
Evidence is that if that's working, then learning takes place, physical development takes place, fine motor development increases.
Perfectly clear, isn't it?
Thank you. I now have a PhD in neuropsychology. Well, graphics can also be used to create delicate metaphors, and our Lookout Today tonight deftly illustrates this story about a landlord who disapproves of someone's pet rabbit.
All was fine until recently when the landlord set his sights on Thumper.
Such a refined approach. But, you know, I reckon all that animation, that's just kid stuff. If you really want to engage with a complex concept in depth, what you want is a stamp. Now, take this Today Tonight story on household appliances, for instance. What do you think's wrong with these items, Andy?
I don't know, they look all right to me.
Look carefully now.
Well, they look... Oh, are they defective in some way, or...?
Bingo!
Is that what it is?
Just in case you're not sure, there you go.
I've learned.
Yeah, in fact, Today Tonight uses stamps for pretty much every issue that they want to explore in a subtle and nuanced fashion.
Parking inspectors caught out.
Disaster after disaster. The foreign worker invasion.
Not one student passed. Harassment, lost files.
They were bullies.
Guilty of racial vilification. The ring was all a fake. Banned from driving his car's unregistered, uninsured. The mum hounded one minor bingle 8 different ways. Thieves, drug addicts, criminals, drugs, assaults, crime out of control.
Destroying a once peaceful community.
Well, there's nothing like reducing complex issues to 2 words in a rectangular box. And that's why we decided we could improve some of the great works of literature by translating them into current affairs-ese. For example, Romeo and Juliet, Oliver Twist, and Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire.
Compelling reading, all 3 of them. But the only downside, I guess, Andrew, with stamps is they can be a tad intrusive.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, they can be. They really can. In fact, sometimes they even get in your way. Take this poor bloke here. The one on the right I'm talking about, this one come up, he was forced to actually limbo underneath the stamp.
Rather intrusive now, I admit. Look, I think these stamps are brilliant, and we were so impressed we decided to go to the premises of Channel 7 to pay our compliments.
Too many stamps. I wonder what Today Tonight's graphics guy thought about that.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Thank you, guys. That is just about it for tonight, but we couldn't go without commemorating the 3rd anniversary of the liberation of Iraq this week.
Yes, 3 years of freedom.
3 years of democracy.
3 years of restored order, and we're going to celebrate with this beautiful cake which we prepared, so if we all sing it together now.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday, dear Iraq. And on that note, have a great weekend, and just for Beryl, we'll leave you with a classic moment from the mother and son closing credits. Good night.
Thank you.